Okay, I know that Dominic in New Jersey is the guy from Facebook who was
Oh, right, Dominic. Okay, Dominic.
Hey, how's it going, Russell? How's it going, Jen?
Good.
Fine, how are you?
Hey, I just wanted to call about a particular social issue.
Okay.
Recently there was a pastor in North Carolina who said that if you have an effeminate young son,
Yes.
that you should physically punish him to inspire masculinity in him.
Yes.
What an idiot.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree that it is wrong to physically punish your son or to punish your child, period, because of how they may behave. But I do believe that there is nothing wrong for a father to attempt to inspire masculinity in his son, to help him adjust more to social norms. And I wanted to know, what is your position on that issue?
Why would you think that's a good idea?
To inspire masculinity?
Yeah.
Well, because I believe that I believe it's deviant behavior. And
Why?
Why?
I believe that a young child, an impressionable young child, a 5-year-old, I think they're too young to make such a decision for themselves. And I believe that that they should wait until they're adults to make decisions on stark deviant behavior.
Well, look, gender role play is a normal developmental process that young children go through. So children try on different gender roles as they go through as toddlers and very young children, just to see what it's like to be in that role. And there's nothing wrong with that. That isn't an indicator of anything in the future. It's just curiosity.
Yeah, I agree that it's curiosity, and I would be very careful about saying that it was wrong. I don't actually think that it is wrong for a child to experiment, and they will be exposed to the other sex. That they may even pick up on certain habits. But for example, I probably wouldn't allow an escalation of certain behavior. Like if my son were to ask me if he could wear a dress, I probably would say no. More than likely, I would say no to something like that.
Why?
Because I believe that it's very stark deviant behavior. In my opinion, dresses are for girls.
Okay, let me ask you a question here. If you walked into your son's classroom, a pre-K classroom, and you saw your 5-year-old son standing in a corner, playing in a little kitchen setup, wearing a frilly pink tutu, what would you do? How would you respond to that?
Nothing. I wouldn't respond in any way.
Okay.
I don't believe that actually playing with girl toys would.
But he's wearing a pink tutu.
Said that he was wearing a tutu. Yeah, he would be. Even if I walked in the classroom and saw him wearing a dress, I would probably think it was funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in my high school, the height of comedy, during a talent show or something, was to have guys come out dressed up as women.
Yeah.
Monty Python does that all the time,
Yeah.
as do almost every sketch comedy show.
Yeah.
Even if it's.
And I don't believe that any of those people you can say are having an identity crisis either. And an impressionable 5-year-old may actually be put in that position eventually if you let them make such decisions on that kind of deviant behavior as a young person, as someone who doesn't have the weight of experience and reason on their shoulders.
So why would wearing a dress or something like that cause a young child any problem, a young boy any problem?
If I let my 5-year-old son, for example, a hypothetical 5-year-old, I don't really have children, but let's assume that there's a hypothetical 5-year-old. If I let him leave the house in a dress, how could that be a problem?
Yeah.
Well, seriously, honestly,
seriously.
society, he may actually be faced with a lot of adversity for it.
Why? I mean, I don't know of anybody that would treat a 5-year-old child poorly because he was wearing a dress. Most people...
Probably not an adult, maybe not an adult, but maybe others his age.
I don't know of a 5-year-old that would think twice about that. I mean, the example I gave you of,
that may be true.
Of walking into...
You don't know a 5-year-old that would respond that way.
I mean, the example I gave you of walking into the classroom and seeing, your 5-year-old son wearing a pink tutu and playing, in like the little kitchen area, that actually happened. My son was wearing a pink tutu, playing in the kitchen area in his pre-K classroom. Okay? And we walked in, and he's like, okay, and he put down his fairy wand or whatever he was carrying at the time and took his tutu off, and we went home. And we never thought anything of it, okay? And
I wouldn't either.
well, and the thing is, it's like, okay, what's wrong with that? If he had said, hey, I want to wear a pink tutu to school tomorrow, I would have said, well, let's find you a pink tutu then. You know, it would have been no big deal, because that isn't it's not indicative of anything else that's going on, other than he's curious, he wants to dress up in this costume and try on this role for a while, and it's fine. I mean, some of the other things he came into, he said that he wanted a kitchen set for Christmas one year. He was about 3 years old at the time. So we bought him a kitchen set, and he still has that. He doesn't play with it very much anymore, and I think we're going to end up giving it away soon, but he had this kitchen set that he played with. For the longest time, he told us he wanted a pink baby, okay? And we thought that he meant that he wanted a sibling for a while, and then he clarified that that's not what he was asking for. He was asking for this little pink doll that has measles or some kind of rash, and you rub it on its cheeks and it gets better. So he basically wanted a doll that he could take care of. And so
I actually just remembered my son wanted, you know, a doll, and I was the one embarrassed walking through the girl aisle, but I got it for him, and you know, it turned out in the end that he was not interested in it for very many years, but you know, if he had been, whatever.
Yeah, well, I mean, my son still plays with this doll from time to time. You know, it's his baby. He takes care of it and everything. And, you know, a lot of people have freaked out over that and said, oh, you got him a girl's toy. And my view of it is that, okay, what he's learning is how to take care of somebody, you know, another human. And later on, if he decides to have children of his own, you know, this kind of play may be valuable to him. Even if it isn't, it's fun for him, so there's no big deal.
Well, yeah, that's very easy to understand. I can understand how a young boy playing with a doll may make him more nurturing as an adult, for example.
Yeah.
But I do see a difference, though, if my son asked me or told me that he wanted to be a girl, for example, or that he wanted to wear dresses. And I would probably make it clear to him that dresses were for girls and that he was a boy. I would probably say that to him. I would definitely approach it with tact, sensitivity, some dignity as well, but I would more than likely tell my son that he could not wear a dress and that he could not adopt certain things that are typical of women. But I have been met with a lot of adversity from atheists, particularly, for that issue.
Well, and I guess part of it is that I, for one, don't understand why someone's choice of clothing would be that much of a problem, especially a young child.
I think it can help in developing an identity. I think you can, especially when there are transgender children out there, and I believe that that may happen as a result of parents allowing certain aspirations.
That doesn't happen as a result. I mean,
it's not what the parents do, and it's not whether you let them wear the opposite sex's clothes or anything like that. If that were true, there'd be a lot more women out there who are transgender, because I know lots more women who wear male-style clothing than men.
Yeah, and some transgendered people are the children of the most butch, homophobic people you'd ever meet.
Yeah.
So that's not it.
Yeah.
American Beauty.
I think what you do.
Is that one of the subplots?
There is a criteria by which doctors use to diagnose transgender children. And I believe that allowing those...
But we don't see it as a disorder, and that's probably where the difference comes in. But we're going to have to...
I didn't hear that, actually.
We don't see it as a disorder or deviant or evil in any way, and that's mainly
I don't see it as evil, but I do see it as...
Then there's no problem. We're going to wrap up the show pretty soon, so thanks for your call.